Hey guys, how are you doing today? Now today's title for the video is Who is really at work in your life? The truth will be revealed. Who is really at work in your life? The truth will be revealed. Have you ever felt like something unseen is working against you? Like you're pressed. Like the pressure isn't just life, but something far deeper, far sinister, more calculated. You feel like the pressure, the manipulation, the overwhelming weight, the atmosphere is like your surrounding is real heavy. People just switch like a Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. Like you can see the smile, but beyond that, you see something greater in their face and their movement and the things that they do that they would not ordinarily do. You know, I want you to hear this clearly. See, not everything that is happening around you that is truly working over you. Now, see, when the dust settles, only one power remains standing. When all hands that are at play and all scripts, things that are made to come at you, when it all said and done, when it all has stopped, only one power stands. That's the power of God. See, there are moments in life where chaos may feel lighter than clarity. This is where people's actions, hidden motives, and narcissistic tendencies, they seem to close in on your peace. Let's say they're trying to suffocate you. That's when they double down. See, the enemy operates in noise and confusion and pressure. Enemy likes to use manipulation, control, and emotional exhaustion. They try to break your focus and distract your identity or distract your purpose. And if you allow it, if you can't see through the fog, that is where the enemy wins. This is where you say that God work is not working. You have to understand the tactics that are being done, the maneuvers in your life. If you are going through a journey of hard press and you have come to a place where you're not fully out of it, but where you yourself can say that you found some sort of peace. You're not lost. You're not in confusion. You can maintain and stabilize your thoughts. You pray and find some enlightenment and alignment from God. That is where your faith says, now I'm standing. That is where you have come out of the smoke. That is where even though that the walk may be lonely, you may still see a bit of wilderness, but you are aware that you are not walking alone. I want to tell you a scripture in Ephesians 6, verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against ruler of darkness of this world. I've repeated this scripture. So many other people have repeated this scripture. These are not things that you should be shocked about. The reaction of the people that you would never think that would do the things that they're doing. You have to understand that darkness, the evil one, he tries to overwhelm the air. He tried to overwhelm the spirit of people who are blind to the fact. People who do not have their eyes on the sparrow. So that means that what you're feeling isn't always just about people. There's a deeper battle that is happening beyond the scenes. See, the enemy and those who are influenced, they're often, how can I say, they often overplay their hands. See, they become obsessive. They push too hard. They try to control what they were never given authority over. So they try to hold on to you because at some time or another in your life, they obviously had footing over you. So that's the reason why the obsession can't let go. It's not a factor of trying to show themselves because they've already positioned themselves. They've already made themselves known. What is happening right now is that they're battling against their own demons. It may seem like it's coming towards you. Actually, it is. But what's being played in the back scenery is that the same demons which they use to control and manipulate you is actually controlling and manipulating them. And it turns into obsession. Now, they may want to portray it as power, as we're still in control. But when you look at it, the same attacks that they are putting on you is being forced upon them. And that is the truth. See, when manipulation reaches its peak, exposure is not far behind because confusion cannot survive where God brings clarity. I'm going to go straight into a story to tell you about Daniel. See, Daniel, he was favored. He was faithful, consistent, and because of that, he became a target. Not because he did any wrong, but because he did right. The leaders around him couldn't find fault in Daniel, so they created a trap. They manipulated the system, they twisted the law, and engineered a situation, something that was meant to destroy Daniel. So Daniel was thrown into the lion's den. From the outside, someone looking at the story of Daniel, it looks like the enemy had won. It looked like the manipulators had succeeded. It may even have looked like that evil had finally said, we got it. But what they didn't understand was this. God was still at work in the situation. See, in Daniel 6, verse 22, it says, my God sent his angels and he shut the mouth of the lions. Now, while the enemy was plotting, God was positioning, God was protecting, And while they were manipulating, God was preserving. And when the dust has settled, it wasn't Daniel who was exposed. It was those who plotted against him. God did just what he had planned to do. He protected Daniel. He revealed who he is. He revealed his power in front of everyone so that they would know that God is sovereign. His name is Yahweh. I am who I am. That signifies as a supreme ruler. That is who God is. This is where this story connects to you. You may feel surrounded right now. You may feel like you're being suffocated. You may feel like the enemy has doubled down, like your peace is under attack, like certain people are working overtime to overwhelm your space, your mind, your spirit. But don't mistake pressure for defeat. What feels like suffocation is often a setup for revelation. Because when the dust settles, truth always rise. God allows certain situations to reach their peaks. God allows us to still walk in certain fires, not because he doesn't love us, or not because God has lost control, but because God is about to make his power undeniable. You don't need to fight every battle. I know it's hard. I know you see it and you want to react. You want to stand. You want to show that you have control. Sometimes we have to humble ourselves. Sometimes you let the enemy proceed on. Sometimes you just have to drink humble water, and being humble, sometimes it's good. Now, it's not going to stop the enemy. It's not going to make them like you. They're not going to feel sorry for you. Matter of fact, I have to tell you, when you show no reaction, that is when they're going to come the hardest. See, they call you a wimp. You're a loser. You have no backbone. But that's okay. All I have to tell you that everything that you are going through, every battle, God is the one who is fighting it for you. You don't need to expose every lie or every deception or every plan. Matter of fact, walk in the middle of it. Smile with your enemies. I know it's hard because sometimes some of your enemies, they walk with a billboard on their back, just giving the whole description of who they are, what they're doing, who they're under. And sometimes you just play blind. I'm going to say to you, if you feel that your enemies are exposing themselves, sometimes hide for them. If it's a billboard on the back of them, if it's a blackboard, erase it. Erase it so other people don't see it. You know what it does? It makes you strong. And from there, that's where you built your humility. And from there, that's where you know who you don't want to be. See, when the enemy walks with their sign on their back, they're telling you, they're teaching you everything for you not to do and whom for you not to become. You have to understand, the God who shut the lion's mouth, he is still the God who is working, who's silencing what was sent to destroy you. If it was not for God, you would not make it to this point. So we got to be clear about this. It's not a factor of showing that we're a wimp and we're weak or we don't have any backbone or anything like that. That's not what it is, because you have a God who's sovereign. He's mightier than even your enemies. The army of God is greater than the army that you see. Not everything attacking you has authority over you. It's when you allow it, when you open up to it, when you react to it, When you have sometimes some of us, we have too much clarity. I can tell you, I'm going to speak for myself. Again, I'm going to raise my hands. You know, sometimes clarity is meant to be kept between you and God. But we've built ourselves from how we grew up being strong, so we don't want to seem like failure. But I got to tell you that the army's coming against you. If it was not for God, again, I'm going to tell you, will not make it to this point, regardless how strong you are, regardless what background, regardless how you were raised, regardless how tough you are, how you went through certain things. This kind of fight, you need God on your side. So I'm saying to you, the enemy may try to overwhelm your breathing space, try to suffocate you. They may try to manipulate the control or the narrative, but they will overplay themselves. That is what God is about. And when they do, God will step in for all to see. So all you have to do is stand firm. Stand in your faith. Stay aligned with God every day. Yes, they are going to attack your prayer life. They are going to attack your faith. They will invade your space of worship. If you see them, act like you don't. Keep your eyes at the foot of the cross. Keep your eyes on the Son of God. Keep your eyes on Jesus. Because with that power, with God's power and God's elevation, you will come out at the end. Now, when this is done, when it is said and done, when the confusion has left, the attacks have died down, this is when you know that God has shown his face in all that you are going through. So, don't let the enemy overwhelm you, suffocate you. The enemy has a job to do, and you have a job to do. And what's most important is your job. Your job is to survive. Your job is to stay connected to God. Your job is to bring about change in your heart posture, change your life. Because you're still in this is because God is trying to tell a story through you. God is trying to change certain things in you. It's not about your enemies anymore. Your enemies have always been there and they will be there after this journey. Maybe not you. They'll move on to someone else, unfortunately. They've always been there from the beginning to the end. But God has been with you from the beginning and he will still be with you till the end. So guys, I want to tell you that this message is a message that reveals truth. This message is a message that will give you strength so that you can expose darkness and you allow it to be known that God's power is in your life. Now, if this message resonates with you, I'd like to welcome you to this channel. And I'd like to let you know that here in this channel, we're walking through fire and we stay connected and aligned with God. So if you like, please do like, share, and subscribe. Comment. God is at work in my life. Write it boldly, because what tried to break you, God is about to use it to reveal who he is and who he created you to be. So I love you with the love of Christ, and I pray to see you on the next video. Bye.